Well, the finals is here, and what do I think of the game? Well, let me tell you, it's probably the best free-to-play title there is that you can play right now. Hi, I'm Sprite, and I'm going to be kind of telling you my thoughts about the finals. This isn't a super comprehensive review, but these are just my honest thoughts about the game, and whether I had fun with it or not, or what I think needs improvements. So, yeah, if you're looking for a comprehensive view, this might not be it, but I am going to give my honest thoughts. So yeah. So what is the finals? The finals is developed by the people who are making Arc Raiders. They are called Embark Studios, and some of the developers of the Battlefield games, or the ex-Battlefield developers, are actually working on this game. So one of its main key focuses on this game is destruction, but we'll get onto that in a second. Let's talk about what the finals actually is. So the finals is basically this sort of game show theme shooting game, and it reminds me a lot of Hyperscape, but if it was actually good. So basically, it's set up kind of like if it was a game show, similar to something like the Darwin Project or whatever, and it's really fun. It's a pretty cool theme that I like with a lot of video games. Is the sort of game show theme, like with Fall Guys or whatnot. And basically the main mode you're probably gonna be playing is Quick Cash, and Quick Cash basically puts you against two other teams of three, so it's a 3v3v3, and you're fighting over a vault, and that vault gives you 10,000 cash, and you're going to try and open that vault and bring it to a cash out, so you can cash out that money, and then once you hit 20,000, you win the game. But there are other teams that are going to try and stop you from doing that, or try and steal the cash from you. So let's say I went to a vault and I went to the cash out. Somebody can actually steal the cash out of the cash out and make it for their team. And you basically have to fight to try and keep your cash on you and fight to cash it out. And it's honestly really fun. It's probably my favorite mode. There are ranked modes. There's going to be a ranked season and everything. So if you're into the competitive scene, you're going to like comp a lot. You're going to like comp. That's going to be fun. I have some thoughts about ranked in a bit. Some good, some bad, that I'll get to in a second. But I do want to say the casual modes are really good. Quick Cash, honestly, I don't have a problem with it at all. I love Quick Cash. I don't see any problems with it as far as the mode. And it's really good. It's just a fun mode to play. Then there's another mode where basically I think it's called Bank It. Basically you can get cash from getting kills. The more kills somebody has, the more cash they'll get. And if let's say I killed somebody who has 3 kills, he might have like 8,000 saved up because of his kills. I killed that guy that has the 8,000. Now I can take his 8,000 on top of the cash I just got from killing that guy. So I'll have like 10,000, then I can go and cash that out at a cash out. And then I can also steal vaults, which will gain you more cash, and then go and cash that out. But if I'm on my way to go get a cash out and I die, then I drop my cash, and then the guy can steal it, and then we don't get that cash. And now we've got the comp modes. The comp modes is definitely a little tough because I think you've got limited respawn tokens when it comes to a little more comp. Not really ranked, but you've got limited respawn tokens, so you don't have a lot of respawn tokens, so you can only respawn a few times and you're done. Ranked, I can speak on because I played a few games of ranked. It's okay. It's a good mode if you're into ranked. I don't see any problems with it. One of my problems with ranked is I had teammates that would abandon the game and they would get repercussions from it, but the problem is I couldn't leave because my teammates left, so I was stuck here 1v3v3ing, and there's another team, so I'm 1v3v3ing, and I couldn't leave. So that means because of my teammates leaving, I lose ranked points from that. So not only are they getting repercussions, I'm getting repercussions just because they're the ones that left, and that really sucks. I don't think I saw like a reduction in the points you lose for losing. but I did lose ranked points for losing even though my teammates left. And that's really not good. I think they should if you lose while your teammates are gone, you should not lose any ranked points. And another thing is you couldn't leave, which really sucks. And I get not being able to leave, but at least if you're gonna force us to play the game, at least don't let us lose ranked points just because a teammate will abandon the game and you're basically screwed. So yeah, that's my only really huge problem with ranked. Everything else is fine. It's just that's probably the biggest issue I have. It's just teammates abandoning, because sometimes the matchmaking is a little bugged and people will end up disconnecting because of internet, server problems, etc. So yeah, the modes are all great. I love those. Comp needs, or ranked needs, a little more tweaking as far as player abandoning. Let's talk about the gunplay. I love the gunplay in this game. Feels great. Now, a lot of people are going to complain about the long TTK. But if you play Apex, it's very similar to the time to kill of Apex Legends. And that might turn off some people. But for me, it works fine because you don't just get absolutely melted at just Mach 10 speed. Unless you're like light or something. But that, you know, you're playing a character that doesn't have a lot of health, so it makes sense. But if you're medium or heavy, you're gonna have a longer TTK than usual. And it all just depends on the gun you're using. But that's gonna turn off a lot of people. But for me, I think it works just fine because now you actually have good and engaging gunfights that are gonna be more fun, and it leaves you more chance to actually shoot back and actually pull off a play than rather just getting sneak attacked and instantly killed without even being able to react to where you're getting shot from or just where you even are. So I like the TTK. It's fine if you don't, but I think it personally works for this game because it's not trying to be a battle royale. It's trying to be kind of its own thing. But I like the TTK. Now for the guns themselves, I think a lot of them are pretty balanced. Heavy is pretty crazy. Now, Heavy has a really huge health bar. And their whole schmuck is that they can destroy buildings really easily. They can, you know, go through walls and stuff. And they have sledgehammers and melees and stuff. And whatever. I can't really speak a whole lot on Heavy because I don't use it. I don't use Heavy. My friend does, and he said it was actually pretty busted. They can tank a lot of shots before dying. It really takes like a full team or a 2-on-1 to even kill the guy. But if you're in a 1-on-1, it's really tough to even kill somebody or kill a heavy, especially if you're a light or a medium. If it's a heavy on heavy, it's definitely more even. But if it's a medium to light against a heavy, it's definitely going to be a lot tougher. Which I get that's heavy's basically main goal is to be a tank support. So I mean, I'm gonna have to play a little more on heavy to really give my thoughts about that. But they definitely are pretty good health wise and whatnot. Medium is just pretty good all around character, really good. No complaints with medium. I really like medium. Really good class. All the guns feel great on medium. Visual recoil is a lot though on the AK, which the AK does quite a bit of damage, so I understand. But yeah, it is one thing I do want to talk about in a second, but I'll talk about visual recoil in a second. So light is really pretty good if you know how to move, if you know how to schmoove and groove around the maps. And if you know how to snipe and use pistols, if you have a good trigger finger, light is going to be really good for you. They die really fast. Light dies really fast. We're talking like just 4 hits of a pistol and you're gone. But they can schmoove and groove, and they've got some really banger pistols, really banger pistol and a really banger sniper. And there's also the double barrel. So I think light is pretty good. Dies really fast, but you know that's kind of its whole point. It has high damage, but really low health. So I'm going to talk real quick. This also leans in the gunplay, but is one thing I want to talk about. Visual recoil is a lot. Modern Warfare 2 had really bad visual recoil. Let me introduce you to the finals. The actual physical recoil is not really that much, but the visual recoil is definitely a lot. I noticed it a lot on the pistol, especially the regular, just the regular pistol, not the revolver. That there was definitely a lot of recoil. I think it's called the V95, but there's a lot of recoil on that thing. A lot of visual recoil. It really kicks. It kicks like a mule. Lot of damage, so I can understand why. But if you really break down the pistol, there's no recoil. It's trying to make you think there's recoil just because of the fact there's a lot of visual recoil. Which, I mean, it kind of works, but, you know, if you really look at how the pistol works, there's not a lot of recoil. Same with the AK. The AK has definitely more recoil, and but there's a ton of visual recoil on that thing. The MAC-10, I don't remember the name of it in the game, but the MAC-10 has like no visual recoil and like no actual legitimate recoil. Well, it has a little bit of visual or a little bit of genuine recoil, more than its visual recoil. So a lot of the guns have like, it's either a lot of visual recoil and no legitimate recoil, or it's like no visual recoil but actually kind of big actual recoil. I noticed when it comes to visual recoil, I'd say that'd be the pistol and the AK, but as far as like genuine no visual recoil, I'd say that'd be like maybe the sniper, the AK. I haven't tried all the guns yet. I need to try out the SCAR. I need to try out a lot of stuff, but yeah. Now, I haven't tried the melees yet, so I can't really speak about that. A lot of people are saying the melees are really good, really busted. I really haven't had a huge problem with the finals melee. I know heavy is pretty crazy on the finals. I know heavy is pretty busted with sledgehammer, but as far as legitimate like melee, I haven't seen it be super busted except for like heavy. That's heavy, dude. Heavy with sledgehammer inside a building is terrifying. It's like a horror game. Let's talk about the abilities. Abilities are really good. You've got your basic stuff like your healing beam. Your healing beam, think of like Medic from Team Fortress 2, Mercy from Overwatch. It's just a beam that can heal your teammates. And that's really good for support. I can see that being really, really good for ranked or comp, or just in general being a good support for your teammate. Then you've got for light, you've got your grapple hook, which is basically Pathfinder from Apex, and it's really good. Turns you into Spider-Man. I mean, it really makes you feel like Spider-Man, and it's really fun to use. So if you're good at Pathfinder, you're gonna love the grapple hook, trust me. And then heavy, your ability is just being actually overweight. You can just smash through buildings and stuff. It's crazy. You can just completely tackle buildings, and you can damage enemies with it. You can basically destroy a building in under a second. It's pretty crazy. Then you've got your actual gadgets. So you've got your breach charge, your goo grenades, frag grenades. You've got pyro grenades, defibrillators, smoke grenades, flashbangs, jump pads, all the works. And one of the unique things I saw about this game is the goo grenades, or just in general goo. And goo basically can create a wall or plug up doorways or vents, and they can also be burnt and blown up, which is really cool. That is really cool. There are some other ones that I'm forgetting, like there's the gas mine, gas grenades. One of the cool things I saw is they have these boxes that would float around the map. So you've got like goo grenade boxes, you've got your regular propane tank boxes, your gas grenade boxes, etc. And you can shoot them, they'll drop down, and you can grab one and hold it, and it was pretty cool. One thing I do want to talk about is probably the main focus point of why the Battlefield devs is a huge reason why a lot of people are into this game, is the destruction, because Battlefield is known for its Levolution and its destruction, and this game probably does it more Battlefield than Battlefield does Levolution. Almost, I'd say every building in the game just about is destructible top or bottom. You could probably level the entire map if you wanted to. Honestly, almost everything in the game is destructible. When I played the closed beta, it wasn't as destructible, but in the open beta, I could find myself like blowing stuff up. It was crazy. The amount of stuff I could see getting blown up and just destruct. Like, there was one time I went into, I think it was Monaco, and there used to be a church, and it was completely leveled all the way down to the bottom. And I was like, wasn't there a church here? So yeah, you can completely level buildings. You could blow them up. Like, let's say, I don't know, somebody was camping cash out, and you want to steal it, or you want to drop them down and equip a flamethrower and just start burning them. You could theoretically throw a breach charge underneath the cash out, blow it up, drop them down, goo grenade the wall in front of them so they can't run out, and then flamethrower. They actually did that in the trailer, and it was pretty cool. So if you think you can blow it up, you probably can. Let's say you're stuck in this room and you need to rotate, just blow it up. And that's really good for heavy or just in general if you have a breach charge. And that's actually one of my favorite parts about this game. Anything is destructible. So if you think you can break it, or if you want to make a play with destruction, you could probably do that. And it's really cool. I really like this. It's so unique for a free-to-play game to have this stuff. And it's really cool to see destruction in a free-to-play title. And it's so good. It's so fun to do. Just to break buildings for no reason is just so fun. It's like playing Teardown as a shooter game, I swear. Let's talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game are best free-to-play title graphics I've ever seen. I found myself in awe over the ray tracing over on the PlayStation 5 version and on the PC. This game is honestly one of the best looking free-to-play titles I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a free-to-play title more beautiful than this, unless you're talking about maybe Fortnite, because that runs on Unreal Engine 5. But as far as like aesthetically pleasing, this is probably more aesthetically pleasing than Fortnite on Unreal Engine 5. If we're talking about technical capabilities here, then Fortnite would probably take that. Because it's Unreal Engine 5 is probably more advanced, but just the way this game looks, definitely looks better. This game also plays really well. The movement's great. I want to talk a bit about the movement. The closed alpha, or the closed beta, I felt like I was moving a lot faster in the closed alpha. Now, don't quote me on this, but I felt like I was moving way faster. I was moving and grooving in the original closed alpha or beta. I don't remember what it was. Closed beta. And I found myself in this open beta, and I just felt a lot slower. Like I honestly genuinely I looked at it, I was like, am I on 100 FOV? Like, am I using heavy? And I looked and I was on 100 FOV, and I was using medium, and I'd use light and it was better, but it felt like the way light moved was the way medium usually moved. Now, if I can get a clip to prove this, I might do it, but I just felt like I was slower in this, which honestly isn't that big of a deal, but it did kind of throw off how I did stuff a bit, which honestly wasn't that huge of a deal. It was just a little weird at first. I would like to see an FOV increase from 100 to 120 at some point. That would be really cool. If not, it's not a huge deal. That's like very minor. That's like a nitpick. Because not everybody uses FOV, so that's really just a nitpick, so that's not really a negative. But let's talk about the maps. Maps are really great. I think there's 3 maps: Monaco, Seoul, and Stadium, and those are all really good. I think my most memorable one for me, my absolute favorite, has got to be Seoul. This map is just so beautiful, especially at night. I love this map, and everything about it. It just flows well, it looks good, and it plays great. It's just amazing. One thing, though, is I didn't see the moving train, like the quick cache. I don't know where that was. I think I might be tripping, or maybe I wasn't on it at one point, but I didn't see it. Somebody let me know if that's in there. But I didn't see it, which really sucks. Monaco's really good too. I really like Monaco. Stadium was okay. I think my favorite would have to be Seoul, second one would have to be Monaco, and then the third one would have to be Stadium, and they're all really good maps. I think just Seoul just looks good, feels good, it just flows, and Monaco flows well too. I like how every building can be blown up. There's a lot of destruction to be made there, a lot of plays, a lot of rotations, a lot of explosive stuff is going to be happening, so I really like Monaco. Stadium is the same thing as like Monaco. But I think Seoul and Monaco are definitely better. Tonsil stone.
We're gonna die here. I know it because I know there's somebody camping me.
So, yeah, I honestly if I had to give this game a rating, I'd have to give this a 9 out of 10. There's a lot to love here. Honestly, my favorite new free-to-play title. I can see myself playing this a year down the line. Hopefully it doesn't die in a week like Hyperscape did, but I have huge hopes for this game. This game's way better than Hyperscape could ever even try to be. So, yeah, I hope this doesn't die in a week. It shouldn't. It's a good game, so I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10. Everything here is completely solid. It's really solid. But you know, there's always room for improvement. Ranked needs to be better. I think everything else is pretty good. Everything I've experienced so far. If you guys have any questions or anything in the comments, let me know. I'll be there. And let me know your guys' personal experience. I personally really enjoyed this game. If you have any negative experiences, let me know. If you have any positive experiences, let me know. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.